students. In today's session what we are going to see is electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, so this comes under organic NEET series 4. Okay, so what is an addition reaction? Exactly, it is the opposite to the elimination reaction. Addition reaction means what it says, you are adding some compound into it. Nothing is being removed, you are adding, that's all. So it is just opposite to the elimination. What is elimination? You start with fully saturated compound, isn't it? You start with fully saturated compound and you end with unsaturation. Okay, you start with alkane, you will get alkene. If you further continue some elimination, so what you will get? You will get alkyne. Okay, you will get triple bond. So in addition reaction, what is that? It is exactly opposite of the elimination reaction. So if you start with the unsaturated compound, let's say if you start with the olefin alkene, if you take, okay, after addition what so I am not showing what are the groups we are adding, I am just showing what is been happening. Okay, so if you start with unsaturation, you will get the saturated compound. Okay, if you start with the alkyne, what you will get? You will get alkene. Okay, if you start with triple bond, you will get double bond. On further addition, you will get the complete saturated alkene. Okay, so what are the reagents you can add against a carbon-carbon double bond or a carbon-carbon triple bond? So you need an unsaturation. No, for an addition reaction, what is very important? You need either a carbon-carbon double bond or a carbon-carbon triple bond. So you have to make sure addition reaction will not happen in aromatic ring. Okay, so ma'am, here also carbon-carbon double bond is there. Here also I can do addition. No, addition reaction will not happen in aromatic ring. Okay, this you have to know. So what are the reagents that can add against a carbon-carbon double bond or a triple bond? You can add hydrogen halides. Okay, this we know. So where X is equal to chlorine, bromine or iodine. Okay, so here what we say, this we call it as hydrohalogenation. What does the name? Hydrohalogenation. Okay, then what else we can add? We can add X2. Okay, so this is known as, here also X is equal to chlorine, bromine, iodine, and here we call the reaction as dihalogenation because we are adding 2 atoms of halogens to a double bond. We can add hydrogen also. Okay, we call it as hydrogenation. This we can call it as hydrogenation, and we can add, what is this HOH? This is called water, addition of water. This we call as hydration. So in this class what we are going to see is, okay, hydrohalogenation, hydration and dihalogenation. Okay, this one I'll take it in a separate video, okay, to save time. So many things are there here to explain, so I'll take it in a different session. Okay, let's coming to the addition reaction. See, let's imagine you have taken a simple carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, this is totally symmetrical and you are going to add what? HBr. So here what product? You will get only one product, isn't it? Because it is totally symmetrical. Here nothing problem, no problems. Okay, here you can straight away add, but here this is what? This is totally an unsymmetrical molecule. Okay, the double bond is not symmetrical. Okay, one side you have CH3 substituent and this side you have hydrogen. So here there is a possibility of 2 products. Okay, so here HBr can be added in this way. Okay, or HBr can be added in this way. Can you follow? Okay, so I'll write in 2 ways. So if HBr add in this manner, you will get what? This product. Okay, so if HBr adds in this way, okay, bromine to this carbon and hydrogen to this carbon, what you will get? CH3. So I am differentiating using the color. Okay, so how to know which product you will get? You will not get, maybe you will get both the product, but one will be in major amount. Okay, how to know which one will be in major amount? Okay, for that we have to follow one rule. Whether you will get A or B, okay, that is decided by a rule given by Markovnikov. What the rule says, with the addition of a protic acid to an asymmetric alkene, the proton gets attached to the carbon with more hydrogen substituents. Okay, and the halide group gets attached to the carbon with more alkyl substituents. So which is the carbon? This is the carbon having more hydrogen substituents. You see, this is the double bond. You have to look at only these two carbons. This is the carbon having more hydrogen atoms. Okay, so according to this rule, your proton should add to this carbon. Okay, your proton should add to this carbon, and your halide will attach to the carbon which is having more alkyl substituents. This carbon is having more alkyl substituents. Okay, so according to this rule, this is the product. So, but I will explain you, okay, to make you understand how this happens. Okay, so without any confusion, I will tell you. See, any double bond, okay, carbon-carbon double bond. See, in a double bond, one is a sigma bond and one is a pi bond. See, remember, this is a pi cloud, and it always can be polarized on one particular carbon. This will not remain in between the two. Okay, this will be keep on moving. Okay, so if I polarize the bond, you see, it can be polarized in this way, okay, or in this way. Here it is symmetrical. Okay, so in this way means what? You are taking away the electron cloud. So which carbon takes away the arrow, pointing to the carbon, will take the minus sign. Okay, if it polarizes in this way. If it polarizes in this way, this carbon is taking the electron. So this carbon will have minus. So since this is symmetrical, okay, I will explain you with an unsymmetrical carbon as I took. Okay, so this can be polarized in this way or in this way. Okay, so if it polarizes in this way, what happens? This carbon takes the electrons. So this carbon will have the minus charge. Okay, minus charge, and this carbon will have the plus charge. If it polarizes in this way. Okay, so what happens? This carbon will take the minus charge and this carbon will have the positive charge. Now focus only on the carbocation. Okay, now what you have to do, focus only on the carbocation in between the two possibilities. Which carbocation is stable? As you know, the carbocation, it follows what? Tertiary, secondary and primary. So as you can see, this is a secondary and this is primary. So which is more stable? So this one. So this one will be formed. Okay, so now you take your reagent HBr. You know how it will be ionized. How it will be ionized? It will be ionized as H plus Br minus. You know, opposite charge will react to each other. So the carbocation will react with the anion, and this carbanion will react with this proton. So what product you will get? You will get CH3 to this positive charge, to this electrophile. Your bromine will be attached. Okay, so to this minus, your proton will get attached. So on the whole, we can write it as CH3. So you got the product, no? So always follow this rule. So for your understanding, I told you in this way, but it happens in a sequence manner. You see, your CH3, your alkene first, okay, reacts with, okay, how it will get polarized in this direction? No, only if it get polarized, your stable carbocation will be formed. So it will get polarized to take away this proton in the first step. This is step number 1. Okay, so what intermediate you will get? You will get this more stable carbocation. Okay, in the second step, what happens? In the second step, your bromine minus, okay, your bromine minus will come and attack this carbocation. So you will end up with this product. This is called Markovnikov's product. What it is called? This is called Markovnikov's product. Okay, always in during the addition reaction, you have to follow the Markovnikov's rule. So what it says, your anion, your nucleophile part of your reagent, which is a nucleophile part of your reagent in HBr. In HBr, your bromine as the nucleophile part of your reagent will get attached to the more stable carbocation. Okay, so the same thing holds good for all your addition. So for HBr, which is your nucleophile, so after ionization this is your electrophile and this is your nucleophilic part after ionization, I'm telling. Okay, in the addition of water, which is your nucleophile and which is your electrophile, this you must be capable of recognizing which is electrophile and which is nucleophile. Okay, so here also if you take chlorohydrin, okay, your oxygen being more electronegative, it will take the negative charge, and chlorine being the electrophile in bromohydrin. So this will after ionization, okay, this ionizes in this manner. Okay, so for all the things, okay, you have to follow the same Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so now getting into this, so which product you will get? So this is known as Markovnikov's product. So I'm shortly I'm writing Markovnikov's product, MP, and this is what? Anti-Markovnikov's product. Okay, so which one will be formed? This one will be formed. Okay, so this is what we are taking an external alkene. Okay, we are treating with what? We are treating with water. So here what is electrophile? It will be like this. Okay, so how the bond will be polarized here? How the bond will be polarized? This will polarize in this way, right? Then only a more stable carbocation will be formed here to take away this proton. So which product you will get? You will get, okay, always remember your nucleophilic part of your reagent will occupy the more substituted carbon, that means a more stable carbocation. Okay, so this is your Markovnikov's product. This will be formed. Okay, when coming to this, well, taking a triple bond, what will happen? So how the bond will be polarized? So this is a more substituted most substituted carbon. So the bond will polarize in this way so that a more stable carbocation will be formed. So CH3, C double bond CH2. Okay, so a carbocation will be formed here. So what happens? Your bromine will come and attack here. So CH3, Br double bond CH2. If you take HBr in excess, okay, what happens? One more addition will take place. Okay, here also what happens? The bond polarizes in this direction only. Okay, so this carbon takes the negative charge. So your Br comes here, your Br comes here, so CH3. Okay, this is when you take in excess. If they say if the reagent is in excess. Okay, so now this reaction. Now coming to dihalogen. So dihalogen also follows the same rule, since it is the molecule is symmetrical. So you will not be having any that electrophile nucleophilic problem. But one thing you have to remember is the stereochemistry of the addition. Always remember the addition of chlorine or bromine is a trans addition. What is a trans addition? Here you cannot say any trans because this single bond has free rotation. Now see, this molecule has a restricted rotation. When you add bromine, what happens? See, the bromine adds, you have to show the stereochemistry in this way. So what does it mean? One bromine, these two bromines are in opposite direction. Okay, so I am not telling one will be above, one will be below. If this is above, this will be below. Okay, and if this is below, this will be above, will be in opposite direction. So if you add in the triple bond, you will get a double bond. No, double bond also have restricted rotation. So one bromine in this direction means one bromine in this direction. Okay, so this is what a trans product. This you must remember for all the dihalogen. If you add chlorine or bromine, you will get the trans product. Okay, so now one more thing I want to tell you before giving you the test yourself question. So if HBr, okay, addition happens in the presence of peroxide, okay, what will be the product? The students, you must remember this. If the HBr addition takes place in the presence of peroxide, you will get anti-Markovnikov's product. What is anti-Markovnikov's product? So the nucleophile is attached to the less substituted carbon. This is the anti-Markovnikov's product. Okay, anti-Markovnikov's product. Here your Markovnikov's, because this follows a radical pathway, not ionic pathway. A radical mechanism is followed here. Okay, so you must remember HBr in the presence of peroxide. Not only peroxide, if it takes place in perbenzoic acid, sometimes they will say like that, wherever oxygen bond is there. Okay, this anti-morg only you will get anti-Markovnikov's product. Per acetic acid. Okay, so they will name it, or silently they will put, okay, 3O, 3 oxygen. In acetic acid, normal acetic acid, what you will get only 2 oxygen, but okay, you have to see, oh, okay, this is a peroxide. Then in the presence of any peracids or peroxide, only your anti-Markovnikov's product you will be getting. Okay, so this is your test yourself question. Students, these are some of the very beautiful questions. By solving this, you will get to know everything. Okay, so I'll give you a clue. So here what takes place, aqueous NaOH. So this is a substitution reaction. So I already taken a class of substitution session. Okay, so you can refer that and you can answer. So here substitution takes place, and Al2O3, here removal of water. Okay, elimination of water. Elimination of water takes place. See, I have combined everything: substitution, your elimination, and then your addition. For elimination, you have to follow sides of rule. Okay, and elimination, you follow my video and then come to this. Okay, I'll give you the description. Sorry, I'll give you the link in the description box, and this is an addition reaction. Okay, and here it is alcoholic. You see, aqueous means substitution, alcoholic means elimination. Elimination takes place, and HBr, plain HBr addition, and HBr addition in the presence of peroxide. Okay, then another question. Okay, so here alcoholic KOH, so here elimination takes place. So bromine you are adding, addition, and Na, this is what, NaNH2 is a strong base, so its elimination takes place. We are adding in excess, so please predict the product. And another one, this is very, very, very beautiful. So you see, a triple bond is being converted to a ketone, but this looks very difficult, but actually this is very simple when I explain this. Okay, so please try to answer this question. I'll meet you all with the answers and explanations in the next video. Okay, thank you.